Alright, everyone, here we go. I'm going to be reviewing the entire week as a whole for the week of today, September 13th, 2025. And we're going to go through everything. So, let's go ahead and check it out, right? So, one thing I was actually just looking at and just thinking about is this move in the afternoon of yesterday. I found it very interesting, and I know we should probably start at the beginning of the week, but I just want to mark this out real quick because I think this is interesting. Might actually start marking out macros with dotted lines, but there's a macro from 15:15 to 15:45 according to ICT's website. I don't know if that's But clearly this ended up playing out, right? So I like to, just do what makes sense. Clearly this ended up playing out. And now, once again, does the macro truly ends when the draw and liquidities hit, right? So I don't care. What are macros? Macros are key times. I just made a video on it. But they're essentially a key time where you want to usually it's like 20 to 30 minute window of time where you want to expect to take your trade. So yeah, they're just key times, and I made a video on it. It's a short form video. It's one of my most recent videos. You should definitely watch it. But yeah, I found this interesting, so I want to make note of this. This is the 2 p.m. macro, and note how when we hit our draw on liquidity, that's essentially when the macro ends. It's just cool how that works out, huh? So, yeah, just a couple things. I want to keep looking at Friday because I think Fridays, especially afternoons, looking very interesting. So I'm going to screenshot this. And yeah, notice that's when we actually go run liquidity, right? So let's delete everything. One thing I also find interesting is we end up sweeping this huge wick here with S&T. And so you can consider this AMD, right? This entire range, it's like a CRT, right? This is like a giant candle range. So, right? So, this is just real-time observations that I'm noting out. I'm starting with Friday, and then we'll do the whole week as a whole, but I want to finish out looking at Friday. I think it's really interesting. So once again, accumulation, we have S&T with this high and a sweep of it. So there's manipulation. And then look at this, right? I just mark out things I notice. We break this low with this placement. So once again, this is an obvious candle range. This is an obvious range from this low to this high. That's why I have it marked out. And then we have a fair value gap here. I'm actually curious if we tap equilibrium. Yep, right? See that? Pretty cool how that works out, huh? So this is just a really obvious candle range. They're not even a candle range. It's a really obvious swing low to swing high. That's why I have it marked out. We sweep out one side, get a break of structure. So I know the target's probably the opposite side. So equilibrium, 2022 gap. So once again, this is a very obvious swing low to swing high. One side swept, target the opposing side. right? That's sick right here. That's a sniper entry. And then bang. That's crazy. So just an observation, right? I just mark out observations of things that I notice. So screenshotting that. And yeah, I'm gonna start at the week as a start from the beginning of the week as a whole, but I kind of want to finish reviewing Friday because I never finished really. I found this very interesting from PM though. 1509, 2022 model, 1 minute. And of course, we could look for lower time frame change state off of it, but I'm not gonna get that precise. And then the other thing I noticed, another accumulation. So this is kind of cool, right? So on the 2 minute, we have this is giant accumulation range. Man, I wonder if we have S&T with this low. So 1220 low, 1338 low. Yeah, look, that's a lower low on on NAS. Okay, so we have S&T with this low. We sweep it. Barely. And we're delivering from a 5 minute gap. Let's just call it a regular gap. I'm not going to get that precise. And then, honestly, I kind of just like taking this as a change in state. This is a 2 minute change in state right here. It's just clean. I can just tell that we're going to go run up to that high, or at least to here. So, accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution, right? That's a cool opportunity. That was right before the macro, so not during the macro, but right before, but still. Man, I wish I could watch the market 24/7. How do you normally find market bias before open? That's a great question. Let's take a look at that. First, I'm just going to mark this out as a CISD. I'm not going to call this flow state because this is not the aligned time frame, right? This is just a 2 minute change in state and a 5 minute gap. What would even align with a 2 minute time frame? 1 minute lines with 15 minute. 5 minute lines with the hour. 3 minute aligns with the 30 minute. Yeah. Once again, I'm not gonna be too picky. I'm just gonna call this a change in state trade. Let's take a look at what you're asking though. So once again, the key is finding AMD. And then we run back up to all-time highs. Whoops, let's re-screenshot that. So 1344. CISD close on the 2 minute. Bang. Okay, so how do you find market bias before market open? Well, there's a lot of different ways you can find bias. You can mark out draws and liquidity. I normally, personally, I try to just wait and react to what happens in the market. So if we look like we're manipulating up, and we're gonna distribute down, then I take it. Then I take my entry to get onside with distribution, right? So I'm just paying attention. Which way do we manipulate? And then I want to get onside with distribution. So I don't know. I don't really necessarily have a set bias, but if I do, it's because I frame a higher time frame model. Oh, a good way to get bias is also daily profiles. Like for instance, yesterday we had a really obvious. I'm gonna just show you this because I don't want to have to make it again. Very obvious London reversal, New York continuation day, meaning London formed the low of the day into a 1 hour gap. So it's very likely that New York session is going to keep going in the same direction. That's one way to find bias, right? Is using daily profiles. And if you don't know what daily profile is, it's a type of day that's more common than a random day. Okay. So, yeah. Let's look around more, right? Should we keep looking at Friday, or should we start analyzing the week as a whole? Yeah, let's go ahead and start analyzing the week as a whole. So, zooming out, let's review price action for the entire week. So this is the official start of the live stream. So, let's zoom out, look at the week as a whole, and review what happened and how can we learn from it, right? How can we learn from what happened this week? Well, let's start with the daily chart. On the daily chart, we ended up having SMT at these lows like we talked about. This was previous week's low SMT. And then you can see, right, we end up inversing a 12-hour Provia gap. And I don't know if we were delivering from a gap, but previous week's low SMT. Then we inverse this 12-hour gap. So in hindsight, it's kind of obvious that we're drawing back up to all-time highs, right? So definitely classic expansion week. But yeah, look at that, right? 12-hour inversion to go run up to all-time highs. So in hindsight, it makes a lot of sense that we went higher. We had a accumulation, right? Manipulation. And then distribution. So that's kind of what happened in hindsight for the weekly range. And then essentially, right, it was just a giant buy model. So this was the draw on liquidity, all-time highs. and we had low resistance liquidity right here. Man, it's always so much easier in hindsight, but yeah, we had low resistance liquidity, and the market ended up coming back up to that. So right here, we had a 4-hour PD array, we had a 4-hour BPR. Is this a reclaimed BPR? So now, all of a sudden, now it's looking very clear this was a buy model, right? When you drop down to the lower time frame, you can see, oh yeah, this is about as textbook as it gets. Monday opens up, manipulates, textbook of a Monday. Here's the Monday true open. So, man, it's so annoying because it's always so much easier in hindsight. But we just got to keep going. Monday, 18 o'clock. True week open. 12-hour IPG. So accumulation, manipulation. Once again, why is this a reclaimed BPR? Because we used it already once, twice. Now this is the third time we used it, so that's why it's reclaimed. Because when it says reclaimed, I'm basically just meaning reused. We're reusing an old BPR. Not if you keep your high time frame analysis on the chart. Wait, what? So yeah, in hindsight, it's just, you think wait, oh, you're saying, I see what you're saying. Like, it didn't need to be hindsight. I could have just kept my high time frame analysis on the chart. True, but it's not always easy to be right about high time frame analysis in the moment. Like, you don't necessarily know for sure if your high time frame analysis is onside or offside. It just takes time, and it's a skill you have to get better at. But yeah, you're right. Technically, if you could just keep your high time frame analysis on the chart, it's like, oh yeah. But yeah, look at this. True week open. We dump down, manipulate, then we expand towards our draw on liquidity. Let's actually just mark this out as the buy model for the week. Once again, guys, do you see how in hindsight now this is super, super obvious? We got SMT with the low. Classic expansion week. We did not get a TGIF. Do you guys know why? You guys know why we did not get a TGIF? Because we had not hit our objective. The objective was all-time highs. So if we don't hit our objective on Thursday, then Friday's not going to do TGIF. And here this week we did not hit our objective. And if you guys don't know what TGIF is, it's just basically like it's when Friday, it's when you have a classic expansion week, weekly profile, where Monday goes down into a key level, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday expand. Friday often is a pullback back into the weekly range, and it's just a behavior that happens over and over again. It's called TGIF setup, but usually it pulls back about 30% of the weekly range. But yeah, that's why we didn't have a TGIF setup this week, because we had not reached our objective, our draw on liquidity. So this was our weekly objective. Let's actually mark that out. So it's very important to kind of like, at the beginning of the week, a lot of time you want to kind of mark out what's the weekly objective this week. What is the weekly objective? If you can determine that, you could figure out if you're gonna have a TGIF setup or not, right? So there we go. Very nice buy model. screenshot this. And yeah, it's always way easier in hindsight. Unfortunately, I wish it was easier in the moment. So let's make a new folder for today, Saturday. 9/13/25. Saturday. And yeah, very, very nice classic expansion week this week. All-time high was weekly objective. And weekly objectives actually matter. It's very important because depending on what we assess as the weekly objective, that's whether we get TGIF or not. That's whether we get a retracement on Friday or not. If we don't hit it on Thursday, then a lot of time, if we don't hit the objective on Thursday, then Friday isn't going to do a TGIF, right? So, anyway, note how this reclaimed BPR is really, really nice. I really, really want to stress, like, these BPRs, they don't stop working. The BPR does not stop working after it's been used twice. It gets used 3 times. Stop working after being used twice. It is used a 3rd time. This is what makes it a reclaimed BPR. And I made a video on this. I called it reused for value gaps. Technically, they're called reclaimed. I didn't know that at the time. But, yeah. I just called them reused. But technically, they're called reclaimed BPRs or reclaimed for value gaps. And we could actually mark this out as, just to show you, right? Used once. We used it a 2nd time, and then we used it a 3rd time. Each time we can, you confirm it by model here, confirm it by model here. One, 2, 3, bang, right? And then, yeah, we run up to the all-time highs, which is the weekly objective. Reclaimed BPR. And let's pull up an image of a classic expansion week so you guys can get the gist of why this was a weekly profile, why it ended up playing out so well. So, opening up Discord here. Why was this a weekly profile? Why did it end up playing out so well? Well, we had, here's the weekly profiles. We had a very obvious classic expansion week, guys. And once again, Friday, a lot of time, we'll retrace. Why didn't we retrace this week? Because we hadn't hit our objective. We had not hit our weekly objective. That's why, right? So. Oh, let's just screenshot it. So it'd be cool if I could, outline the whole weekly profile beforehand, but it's not always that easy. Classic weekly expansion week. And yeah, you can see this is exactly what happened this week, right? Save that. So, right, we can literally copy and paste it. Do you see how this was a weekly profile that was high probability that you could have anticipated based off of the way Monday manipulated down, right? The way Monday manipulated down into a key level with S&T and then delivered higher. It's crazy, but it's happening, guys. It is happening. Look at that. Look at the same thing that happens here, right? We distribute up. Bang. Just saying, guys. Just saying. Let's actually just screenshot this. Let's put it in. I'm going to put this in my weekly profile journal. Week of September 13th, 2025. So here's Saturday. Yeah, guys, this is very, very textbook stuff. Guys, I'm very much considering doing I might start coding live streams where I do like coding, where I code trading view indicators. What do you guys think about that? I think that'd be kind of cool. Pretty cool. Okay. So you could use this 4-hour reclaimed BPR, and you could have used this as a full state trade, right? 4-hour reclaimed BPR. Only issue is it's not super obvious. There's no obvious 15-minute change in state of delivery. Okay, so that is an issue. But still, let's just look at it. So, once again, I like just making observations and learning. So, was that the max extension? So I think we use this manipulation leg, guys. Yeah, guys, this is the one. Look, this is why I like backtesting so much, because it tells you exactly what leg to measure for the manipulation, right? It's this leg. This is the leg. And we might have even had SMT at that low. Yeah, guys, look at this, right? We have previous week's low SMT with a sweep of previous week's low. So this isn't even the manipulation, guys. This is the manipulation, right? This isn't even the manipulation. This is because now at this point we end up with stacked SMTs. And yeah. So yeah, I honestly, guys, I'm thinking about doing coding live streams. I think that'd be kind of cool. So previous week's low sweep, and then we expand, right? We get a change in state here. So you could enter this change in state of delivery on the close. Let's say you did that, right? So let's say you took this as a flow state close with a tighter stop loss. So that's honestly maybe what I would do here is we get this close, take it with a tighter stop loss and a quick break even. So stop loss at the swing low and a quick break even. Wow, that's a clean. Now all of a sudden that's very clean. Let's just have this whole thing marked out as the manipulation because I don't want to have to deal with it. So yeah, 15-minute change in state. And then now we can measure out standard deviations of this leg here. 1, 2, 3, let's get very precise with this now. 1, 2, 3, and yeah, 4. Pretty cool. Once again, liquidity trumps everything. So why didn't we hit the third standard deviation here? Because this was a gap. So, giant 4-hour, 15-minute model for this entire week. I'm not gonna. It's too much to have all those as SMTs. Imagine if you just took this and that was your only trade for the week. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. Maybe one day as we keep getting better. Yeah, this is why when you take a trade and you have conviction, you just got to take it, guys. Because at the end of the day, you don't know the future, but you can take high probability trades. You took this? Oh, dang. That's impressive. That's impressive. Yeah, this would not be easy to hold. I don't think most people would hold this. Let's actually drag this out all the way. Right? And the reason I have it here is because I'm entering on a close, which means I'm going to probably go quick break even. Which means I'm okay with not having stop loss all the way at the low because I'm entering on a close with good momentum. Jake, I want to start my trading channel. Should we both trade together and grow and be consistent? Heck yeah, bro. Heck yeah. Bro, if you want, you should. I don't know if you're in the Discord, but join the Discord, and then I'm thinking we should have like the whole community. Like it should just the community should just all grow as a whole, and like maybe like you guys could, anyone who wants to could hop on voice channels. I know Efe was just talking about how we need more people in like to just hang out and voice chat and stuff. Yeah, bro. Exactly. Yeah, dude, you should definitely start a YouTube channel, bro. YouTube, guys, YouTube is one of the greatest opportunities in the modern day. Like, what else? It's literally almost too good to be true. What else can you promote your brand completely for free at no cost. And not only that, but if you get good enough, you can make money for free. You don't need a college degree. You don't need anything. Yeah, the link's in my bio. And definitely hang out with us and stuff. But, like, I highly recommend everyone start a YouTube channel. I don't know why everyone doesn't make videos. I would make like, I'm honestly considering doing YouTube channels for, like, just random stuff. I'm considering doing YouTube channels for, like, literally everything. Like, I don't know. Why not, right? It could get to the point where it could make money, you know? It just seems like a no-brainer, and also I just like doing it, so. For real? Dang, man. You're a private ICT student. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. That's actually way impressive, bro. Yeah, man. I think you should start a YouTube channel for sure. That's awesome. That's a great idea. I think everyone should start a YouTube channel. It's literally free advertising for your brand for free. And you don't need a college degree, you don't need proof of concept, you don't need anything. You just start making videos. You pay with your effort. I mean, it's one of the greatest opportunities of our lifetime. I don't know. I feel like everyone should do it. So, yeah, this was just a high time frame model. And then I'm also going to save this as, like, the actual trade you could have took on Tuesday at 15:45. So let's put this in the folder on Tuesday. And we'll just show how 15:45, this was a 4-hour, 15-minute model. And this was a flow state close. 4-hour, 15-minute at 15:45. Nice, bro. Yes, dude. Absolutely, bro. I'm always down. I'm always down to have a, YouTube buddy. Always down, bro. That'd be sick. Yeah, guys. Look at how precise these markets are, guys. It's crazy. All right. So now that we looked at the week as a whole, one thing actually I'm curious. Let's look at weekly stat map. I don't need this anymore. Oh! Bro! What? No way! Weekly stat map bottom ticked it, guys. Weekly stat map bottom ticked it. You can't see my screen. Oh my. Alright. Screenshot this and send it to everyone who's hated on StatMap. Screenshot it. Oh, it's a monthly manipulation. Oh, whoa. Wait. That makes it very interesting. But let's look at the weekly stat map. Okay, weekly stat map doesn't bottom ticket. But still, that was kind of cool. The monthly stat map level bottom ticked it. So this might be a much bigger buy model than we're thinking. Because, yeah, look at this. Monday opens up. Because they're all useful for their own reason. This one gives me session highs and lows. This one gives me previous day's highs and lows and previous week's highs and lows. It's the same indicator, just different settings turned on. This one gives me midnight open, 8:30, 9:30, 7:30, all the time levels, 1:30. This one's statistical mapping tells me the statistical manipulation and distribution of any given candle. Same with this. This one's like a high time frame PO3. This one gives me the macros. This one's new day opening gaps. This one's new week opening gaps. That one's key levels. This one is, this one's another version of the new day opening gap, but one I created. True opens, first presented for value gap. That's all. They're all ICT based. Well, kind of. Some of them are kind of just, I think they're cool. But Guys, look at that, man. The monthly statistical manipulation level bottom ticks this. That is so cool. Okay. It's not. I mark everything out on my own. I do, but the indicators. I need the indicators to tell me where the um just to make it easier. I don't use the indicators on the chart, right? I just pop them up for a second to see where it is, and then I get rid of them. Dang, bro, that's so sick. Yeah, bro, I don't care. I don't care what ICT says, bro. I'm not an ICT little goon. I'm not an ICT goon. I'm a Jake trades it. I'm my own person, bro. I don't care what ICT says. I honestly don't even listen to ICT for a lot of things. I have my own server. I already have my own server. It's in the, I mean, it's a community server, but yeah, it's a server. We're all working together to grow and learn as a community, and it is in links in my bio for that. So kind of cool. It's not my server. It's a community server where we're all learning and growing. You know, so okay, that is so sick. That is so sick. The link's in my bio. The link's in my bio. I mean, guys, that actually is literally that bottom ticks it. That is so cool. Um. Oh dang, there's 6 people watching. That's a lot. Okay, guys. So now that we've kind of framed the whole higher time frame narrative for the week, let's go in on each individual day, look at New York sessions, find specific trades we could have taken within that session, and then also we'll check out PM and all that other good stuff. Real quick, I'm gonna go get some water, go on a break, and I'll come right back. I still can't believe the monthly bottom tick price, dude. I still can't believe the monthly manipulation level bottom tick price. Hey, what up, everyone? There's a lot of people. I mean, maybe give me a rule. There's also another server for journals where you can do analysis. I can give you specific journals so you can mark up your own analysis and stuff. You should join that one too. And then I can give you as many journals as you want, where you can put your own analysis there, and you could have your own journal just for yourself, for as many as you want. Yo, bro, how do you calculate risk, bro? I'm trying with Top Step, but I don't know how to calculate risk. Okay, yeah, for sure. So, calculating risk, the way I calculate risk is the same whether it's Top Step, personal, Apex accounts. First, I have to determine how much I'm going to risk, right? So, this is how to calculate risk. Let's say I have a 50K Top Step. So, and I want to risk, I don't know what's normal. Let's say I want to risk 400 per trade on eval or something, right? So the way I would do that is, okay, I'm going to, actually let's do 200 per trade because that's what's already in my indicator, right? I'm going to get out the long tool, right? And I'm going to need to go to micro cons so it's correct. Why am I struggling to breathe? I don't know, man. Don't make fun of me. Okay. So, the way you calculate risk. So once again, let's say this is a 50K, $50,000 account. And I'm going to risk $200 per trade. All you do is you put in your long or short tool. Nah, man, I like you. Don't worry about it. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Okay, all you do is you go get out your long tool or your short tool. You put in the settings that you want to risk 200, right? And then if you're on the microcon contract, when you find your trade, like let's say you wanted to take that 2-minute inversion yesterday. That was really nice. You put your stop loss where you want to, you put your entry where you want to, and then it just tells you 5.7. So I would just either round to 5 or 6, right? Probably do 6. And then you enter with 6 cons. And so it's kind of like hard because you have to manually calculate it, but dude, I have 2 videos on Charlie Kirk's death. I'm really upset about it, man. It's not cool. I mean, no one should have to die like that, especially his family's gonna, his wife's gonna be alone, his kids are gonna have to grow up without a dad. It's not a good thing. I mean, we gotta learn to be able to respect people's opinions when we disagree with them and be able to debate those opinions. I mean, we don't want to live in a country or a world where we can't have free speech. Please tell me about the gold block dealing range. So yeah, hopefully that helped you. Brother, please tell me about the gold block dealing range for XAU. So for gold block, it's just, you basically just kind of, the way you do it is you just adjust it by moving this down and up, and you just wait for it to obviously fit in within the range, right? And then once again, there's not a specific size you need to use. You just kind of adjust it until it fits in, and then you go, okay, accumulation, manipulation into the into the liquidity sweep area, and so now we know we're probably going to distribute to the opposite side of the dealing range. That's how you use gold block, right? You just wait for AMD into the edge of the dealing range, and you take it to the opposite side. That's how you use gold block. Wait. Utah government was, yeah, dang man, I didn't know about that. Okay. Let's go back to looking at the charts. So, yeah, no one really deserves to die for saying anything. That's just not right. We need to have free speech. We need to be able to, discuss ideas and opinions without having to kill people we disagree with. That should just be common sense. Okay. All right. Now my doubt is clear now. Yeah, dude. I mean, once again, the gold block ranges, they're going to look messy. They're going to look confusing if you don't know what you're doing. But once again, you adjust the dealing range, and then adjust where it should go. And then you kind of just fit it in, right? So once again, accumulation here, manipulation into the low, distribution up to the high. It's never going to be perfect. Okay, let's just move on here. So, dude, I like my chart colors how they are, dude. You can disagree, but they're my chart colors, bro. Okay, so, let's see here. Where were we? Oh yeah, let's start the week out at the very beginning. Let's go to Monday, and yeah. So, how could we possibly have anticipated a classic expansion week here? Oh wait, I'm stupid. I thought this was a. Hey bro, I kind of messed up the trading view thingy. How can I fix it? How do I fix my long position? What happened? Go into the settings, adjust the risk, and then just have it be what you want it to be, and then it's gonna tell you exactly how many contracts to risk. Okay, let's go. Let's keep going. So, yeah, I'm actually kind of dumb. I thought this was the start of the week, but this is the start of the week. I'm on NQ, it's showing different. If you're on NQ, you just take whatever it is, and so like for instance, I'll still chart on NQ. So if I'm on NQ, it's gonna say 0.12. I multiply that by 10 to get micros. So that would be 1. Here, for instance, this is saying 0.5. Since micros are 10, micros, 10 micros equal 1 mini, I multiply it by 10. So this would be 5 quantity, right? You multiply it by 10. So you just look at it, 0.4. So once again, times that by 5. So instead of 0.48, this is 4.8. So that's 5 cons. Okay, guys, I actually messed up the weekly range here because the week starts right here. Whoops. Okay, let's redo the whole weekly range. Monday, 18 o'clock. Yeah, in hindsight, guys, it's always so obvious, and it kind of bugs me. You know, it kind of bugs me because we should be able to obviously catch these kind of things. Monday opens up here. We end up getting, let's see, a lower low here. Was there SMT? Let's see if we had SMT with YM. Like it's saying 15 cons for all. You have to adjust the stop loss. You have to adjust the stop loss, and then the quantity is going to change. So try adjusting the stop loss and seeing if that does anything. So yeah, look, we end up getting SMT with with YM here. Okay, so I kind of messed up the weekly profile, but we're gonna just restart. Still a classic expansion week, right? We make the low of the week on Tuesday. There's manipulation. We end up taking out all of these lows. Kind of want to look at stat map. Man, I guess we should look at specific trades, but hang on. Oh yeah, we don't go down to there. Okay, let's go down the lower time frame chart and find specific trades. So let's start out on Monday. Why does Monday look so easy, bro? Maybe I just suck at trading. Does it not just look like a liquidity sweep of equal lows? Does it not just look like liquidity sweep? Break of structure and then a fair value gap? Like, am I dumb? Like, why can't I see this live, dude? It's just so obvious. And then we probably retrace back to equilibrium. Yeah. Guys, I just suck at trading, obviously. Like, this is so obvious in hindsight. What the heck? Once again, guys, 2022 model, it's so powerful. Like, genuinely. What else gives you this kind of RR? Crazy. Did I record this in my journal already? Or in my notes? Probably. Bro, I didn't. I didn't even mark this 2022 model. What? This is the most obvious 2022 model ever. Liquidity sweep, break of structure. Was this a session liquidity? Was this session liquidity? No. Oh my gosh. Alright, I'm just gonna screenshot it like this. I mean, look at that. We don't even come back to it ever. So you could honestly even have stop loss at this. Swing low here. Crazy how powerful the 2022 model is, guys. Like, what? Liquidity sweep, break a structure for value gap. That's all you need, man. That's all you need. Okay, nice little 2022 model there. Bang. So let's go ahead and screenshot this. You could honestly just target Asia high. That's a realistic way to go, but we'll just show it in multiple options. We'll show multiple options of what you could do. Okay, so if you targeted Asia's high here, oh wow, we almost went below. Man, that would have been cool if we did. Oh, and we have SMT with this low. Crazy. Oh, I talked about this in my video. We had SMT with the low. Okay, liquidity sweep, break of structure with displacement for value gap. Guys, if this is not obvious to you, I don't know what to say. Like, this is going to repeat in the market over and over again. And then we have Asia's high here. You could even go break even. I'd go break even. I don't know. You don't need to go break even, but you could. I'm just gonna have it like this. Bang. And yeah, there's also an internal sweep here. But so let's see, 841. So let's go to Monday. 9/8. 8-41. 2022 model. 1 minute. Save. And then as well, and then also an internal sweep here, right? I forgot to mention that. And then let's just say that you held it, right? Let's say you held it further. You could have done that, and then bang. I don't know what you would target, but clearly you could have targeted further, is what I'm trying to say. There's probably some kind of drawn liquidity up there. Once again, this LRLR here is rocket fuel. LRLR is rocket fuel. And this happened on a No News Monday. So, guys, screw all the people who say don't trade No News Mondays. Like, nothing is wrong with them if you know what you're doing. Nothing. Look at that. Beautiful. $8.40. 8:41. 2022. 1 minute. Number 2. Oh man. Man, I don't know why. I just kind of feel tired like today. It's kind of annoying. Like, I wish I wasn't feeling tired, but reality is I am. Oh, now there's 7 people watching. Let's go. I mean, this was literally on Monday, guys. How cool is that? And once again, you could target those low resistance highs. That would have been fine. We can align this with a low time frame change in state, as we always say, right? If we want to be extra precise, we go down to the lower time frame, 15-second or 5-second. And we take a line time frame change in state here. This would be very, very precise, right? Yo, what up, Masood? Sorry, it's not loading. I don't know why. Or is this the end? Is this as far back as I can go? Oh, that's dumb. That's dumb. What strategy am I testing? Oh my gosh. Everyone asks me that. It's always the same answer. It's just ICT concepts, bro. Just looking for a inverse value gap change state delivery, 2022 model, targeting old highs and lows. Bro, I'm getting to the point where, I'm getting tired. I don't know what. I might need to go on another walk. Okay, I'm back. The Bear Slayer. I don't think I've seen you here before, bro. That's awesome. Good to see you, man. Yeah. Where were we? We're on Monday. Let's go back to Monday. So, yeah, that trade would be in the pre-market. That's the only issue with it. But nonetheless, it's still nice. And you could take a 15-second line time frame change to stay off of it. Okay, so, yep, you can see how every single gap ends up holding, and how every single gap is just a new opportunity. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I think I'm out of it. I might just film, do this tomorrow. This has not been a very productive part one. I'm gonna be honest. It's not been very productive at all. I think I'll just try and be more productive tomorrow with recapping the week. But yeah, I think I'll just come back tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay.